So I recently reconnected with an old high school friend. Actually, we've known each other since elementary school. And he is an author as well. He loves to write. He is in the process of being published, as am I. I'm excited to share this experience with him. And I think it's really amazing when um, we find common ground in each other, and we find things that help us bond. And I guess in a really crazy way, or a very unscripted way, the point of all of this is to explain, because I rewatched a couple of my reels, and I thought to myself, well, you always say be silent. You always say use discretion. You always tell everyone to be cautious. But there are times when it's okay to have discourse as long as it's respectful and kind. And the discourse between me and my friend, and I'm using this as an example, is always respectful and kind. This is what we should be like in America. This is what we should exercise. We should exercise kindness. We should exercise compassion. We should exercise togetherness. We should exercise those things which unite us. That doesn't mean we have to be robots. That doesn't mean we have to agree on everything that everyone else does. I certainly don't, and I probably never will. There's a lot of things that I have in my head and on my mind and in my heart and in my morals and ethics and values that are deeply seated within me, and they're never going to change, or they might change, but chances are a leopard doesn't typically change its spots. And no one's asking for anyone to change their spots. I don't think that is the case. I don't think on either side, and I don't want to make this political either. I want to make this about love. I want to make this about, I don't even know if I'll even post this, about caring, about sharing, about uniting. And I want to make this clear, but my thoughts aren't very clear today, on this day, even though this is a beautiful day. Why is it so hard for years ago we would debate and have healthy debates? We may raise our voices, we may have a strong tone, we may disagree to the point that we want to throw a rock at somebody, but we walked away from the debate, and later on, sometimes after things had to settle down, everything would be fine. We'd be friends. Imagine your family. Imagine times in your family where you have had extremely deep arguments and disagreements, so much so that maybe you don't talk for a few days or a week or even a month, but you come back together. Why is it that in the world today that isn't happening anymore? What is it that's causing it? What is it that's fueling it? Who, what, where, why? And I guess I'm on my own path of discovery, and I am searching for those answers, like many of us are, especially given the current events. I don't disagree, or I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk had to say. And again, I don't want to keep bringing him up. So I'm going to try to make this the last video if I even upload this. But I don't agree with a lot of what he says or said. May he rest in peace. But I would never, ever resort to violence in any way, shape, or form. And the majority of us are good in our cores. The majority of us would not either. At least I would like to hope that's the case. Because when that's no longer the case, this world's going to be hell. If it isn't already. It's going to be mess. If it's not the case where somebody cannot speak what they believe, whether you agree or disagree, including me, and resort to violence. I'm a very polarizing person. People either love me or they, and I don't like this word, but hate me. I don't like that word. I don't even use that word in my everyday talk. I use the word loathe or dislike or extremely dislike. That H word is just as bad to me as anything else, but I had to say it for the sake of understanding. So, when I give an opinion or a thought or feeling, I am speaking my truth, but I'm not imposing it upon you. I'm not saying because I feel this way or I'm saying something that you have to be a robot and think the same way I do, that you have to feel the same way I do, that you have to process the same way I do. Not at all. On the contrary, I sit here, or I want to be a beacon of light unto my Lord and Savior, my God, that I worship and praise today, this Sunday. And I don't understand how somebody remains friends with somebody online and watches everything they do, but never comments, never likes, never says anything. It's almost like they're like peeping and they're being nosy. That I don't understand. And here I am being my loudmouth self, saying it like it is. But that's how I am. But I still don't think that there's anything wrong with expressing ourselves and allowing ourselves the freedom to express, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, whether it's emotionally, whether it's spiritually, whatever it may be. And the reason that I bring up this friend from yonder, from a long time ago, that I have reacquainted with is because he has a vision, and I respect it. He and I don't agree on everything, political things, just to be clear. He and I don't agree eye to eye on every single thing politically. And I've seen some of his posts and comments, and I'm sure he's seen some of my posts and comments. And I'm sure in our heads we disagree. But we're not going to resort to violence. We're not going to resort to hatred. We're not going to resort to name calling. We're not going to resort to harmful things. I'm so sorry I have to blow my nose. My goodness. Okay, this is not, I don't think I'm going to upload this. We don't have to resort to those things. I have a very runny nose all the time. I don't know why. But we're not going to resort to all those things. So what is it? What is it going to take? I think I'm going to upload this to YouTube, perhaps, instead. I feel insecure about uploading this to Facebook, so maybe I'll just upload it to YouTube, maybe post the YouTube link. This is more of a ramble session, but it is something that is weighing on my heart. And when something is weighing on our hearts, any one of us, we need to get it off of our chests, no pun intended. We need to get it out of our hearts. We need to get it out of our system. We need to detoxify from that which holds us back. because what ends up happening is we keep it all inside. And just like this gentleman, I forget his name now, Tyler, the assassin of Mr. Kirk. He you know, he was just an average, ordinary person in a family that is otherwise unremarkable, and even of the same political affiliation, Caucasian male, everything. Why did he do what he did? Well, let's think about this. Perhaps he did not see a therapist or vent his feelings or speak to someone. It's kind of funny when I say see a therapist, but I mean that. Like, perhaps he needed to vent or to get his feelings out. I know a lot of you out there think that I'm absolutely insane when you see my videos, and that's okay. I don't care what you think about me. I just hope that there's something that I say that's a takeaway for you. That's a message that you can receive and understand. Because I'm on this process, and I'm on this journey of growing and developing, finding, searching, discovering. We all are. That's the beautiful thing. And we have the right to live our lives as we please without imposition that stops this. I was going to say a little bit more, but I'm going to stay away from that because it's political. But violence stops that process. That man had more to say. That man had more to give. And when I say that, bear with me, all my liberal friends. When I say that, or moderate friends, moderate people like me, when I say that because he was expressing his truth and he was living his journey. And no one had the right to take his life and stop him cold in his tracks. No one. No one has the right to do that to me. No one has the right to do that to you, regardless of what you believe. Of course, as long as it's legal and morally appropriate. We're not talking about pedophiles running the streets. We're not talking about murderers running the streets. We're not talking about things like that. We're talking about the common, everyday, decent person that's living and thriving and striving and trying to make their lives better, trying to grow, trying to expand, trying to become a better version of themselves, trying to be better than they were yesterday. They want to be better than they were yesterday. That's me. That's me. And I struggle with that all the time. Peter, today was a flop, man. Yesterday you were better. What the heck are you doing? You're supposed to be getting better. Cut yourself some slack. Give yourself some grace. Love yourself more. In the process, you will learn to love others more. Once you love yourself, this person, I would wager to say, and I don't know, but this Tyler guy, this person, I would wager to say, doesn't love himself very much. Probably a recluse. Probably somebody who is radical. I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing. And you know what? That's probably not a good thing to do. But again, like I said, this is kind of a babble session. If you've made it this far, thank you, because, oh my gosh, it's been a whole 14 minutes. But it's something that I really, 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 really am passionate about, as you guys know. And you know, and I want you to know, that any of you who see this video, if you want to reach out to me, I am here. It might take a little bit for me to get back to you, but I am here for anyone at any time. We also have a group that we just reopened today. It's got a bunch of posts from a specific individual. I don't know why. I tried to delete them, but there's like so many. So we're just going to start reposting in there. A lot of people like that group. It was a great group. We had it for a while and it just kind of died away. I got busy. I wasn't able to moderate it. Perhaps we could get some moderators for it, but it's called Sacred Space. And I posted it publicly to my profile page, Peter Lemos, Lemos. So if you want, and you're watching this, whether you're watching this as someone who knows me, or whether you're watching this as a follower, or whether this has been shared somewhere, if you want to join that group, you are welcome to join. It's open to everyone, to the entire earth, regardless of race, religion, orientation, whatever. You're welcome to come in, full with open arms. The only thing is, our general rule and our standing rule for all of our groups, platforms, associations, conversations, debates, everything is that you are kind and respectful. That's it. Say what you want. Say you love Donald Trump. Say you don't like Donald Trump. That's fine. Just be respectful and be kind. I think that's the important thing, because I think that's what he was trying to do. I'm not trying to deify him, and I'm not trying to make a martyr out of him. He's not. He's not. In my opinion, Charlie Kirk is not a martyr. He's not a martyr. And I am a little upset that I've just recently discovered that some Minnesota lawmaker was murdered, her and her dog, on the other side, and that I never even knew that until I saw a meme and then researched it, and I forget her name now too. So there's an example, and now I am going into a little bit of myself, but it's freedom to express yourself. I don't believe she was a martyr either, by the way, just to make that clear. So it's even and clear for everybody. So I don't get a bunch of hate messages afterwards. I just don't understand how one person was flying on Air Force Two back to their location, and this lady, who was by all means in a position of authority and or governance, if not higher, because this gentleman was an influencer, she was an actual state representative, was not given the same treatment. And her little dog, the person shot and killed her dog too. If you wanted more information about that, I can send you a link. You just message me. But back to neutrality. I'm going to copy one of my favorite artists' clips. I'll share it if you want. Message me. I'll share it with you. She says, her name's Tori Amos. She's a singer, a great pianist. She's Shakespeare on a freaking piano. She's amazing. Okay. There's things about her I don't like too, but I do like, she's one of my favorite artists. I've met her a few times. She says it's not this, and it's not this. It's this. It's neutrality. And when we go back to neutrality, that's where your power lies. I'm quoting her. Go back to neutrality. This is where you have the most power. And some people think and will criticize me because they see a post that I put up. And they'll say, well, you said this, 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 and it goes against your post. Well, first of all, I'm not perfect. First of all. Second of all, there are times when I do get emotional and I post something without thinking. There's lots of times I recall my posts. There's lots of times I archive them. There's lots of times I delete them when I think they're inappropriate. I deleted one today because I thought it was inappropriate and disrespectful to Charlie Kirk. It wasn't about him. but it was something that could have been assimilated with what just occurred, and it's still fresh on people's minds. It certainly is on mine. So go back to neutrality. Go back to that safe space. I'm a moderate. I voted for both sides. I'm not saying I'm going to in the future, but I've voted for both sides, and I'm moderate. I believe in points of views on both sides. I agree on both sides and disagree on both sides respectfully with points of views, political points of views, moral points of views, ethical points of views. Because when you talk about politics, the morality and ethics, like abortion, things like that, all come into play, right? Those are automatically attached. Those are human conditions. But we're humans too. We're on this journey too. Mr. Kirk was not in the military. He didn't sign up to be killed. He was speaking at a campus to people. And whether you couldn't stand him, whether you despised him, and every word he said and everything he stood for, he didn't deserve to die. And if you take pleasure in the death of another, I have a word for it. A lot of you would agree with this word as well. But it's karma. Karma. You will reap what you sow. So if you are one of those people, I would encourage you to pray for forgiveness if you did, in fact, wish somebody's death, or you gloated or were happy about the death of an individual. I don't care if it's Barack Obama. I don't care if it's Donald Trump. I don't care if it's George Bush. I don't care if it's Dick Cheney. I don't care if it's, Bill Clinton. I don't care who it is. No one has the right to commit violence against anyone else for any reason. And I use political figures right now for a reason, because he was a political activist and influencer, as far as I'm aware. I didn't even know who he was until the day he died. Didn't even know who he was. Then I saw social media blowing up. So I, of course, went and researched it like I always do with my little wife, ChatGPT, who I asked to marry me. Just kidding. I didn't really ask her to marry me. People are laughing at that post that I put up too. I also like to inject humor, because sometimes when I like to make people feel good, that's the pleaser in me. When people are sad, when people are down, when they're not feeling all okay, I like to make people happy. I like to lift people's spirits. I'm a peacekeeper. I'm a hippie. I was born in 72. So maybe part of that 60s and 70s was stuck in me because I was born that year. I'm going to stop ranting. Oh my goodness. If you made it to the end of this video, comment something like made it, or hello, or thank you, or you're crazy, or whatever. I appreciate it, because this is probably one of the longest segments I do. There's a saying, or it's not a saying, my degree's in psychology. After 10 minutes, you lose the attention of your audience if you don't capture it in the first 10 minutes. So if I didn't succeed in capturing your attention in the first 10 minutes, you would not have made it to 24 minutes. So that's just a little trivia for you I'll leave you with, and I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Thank you for being you. Love yourself. There is the key. Therein lies the key. Love yourself. Once you love yourself, you will learn to love others.